So you're with Property Mythbusters. Hi, I'm Ken from Avvora Finance. No, is that not right?
Yep.
I'm John Gilmovich from Real Property Manager.
And I'm Debra Beck-Mewing from Crave Property Advisory. So we're here to bust the myths around the contradictions and misleading information in the property investing space. For the next 10 minutes, we'll be discussing the myth that free property seminars will teach us how to invest. So who would like to start today?
Well, that's I'll kick it off if you like. It's one of my favourite topics to discuss. So I think the theme the next 10 minutes is really about whether the free property seminar is in fact educating you on the right way to invest, or is it in fact a front for a property spruiking scam?
Yeah.
I guess the big question is, how do you tell?
Yes,
How do you tell the difference?
Yeah.
And of course, how do you trip over a free seminar? How does that actually happen as well?
Yeah.
And for anyone that's very active on social media and all the different platforms, including Facebook and LinkedIn, and of course the other one that's evolved in this space is Meetup. Meetup groups. We'll find ads running constantly, inviting them to the free property seminar.
Yeah, that's right.
So what happens when you sign up?
Well,
Anyone been?
Yeah, I've been to a few. Have you been to a few?
not recently.
Not recently?
Okay, so I'll talk about my experience. So what will often happen is that you'll be targeted, depending on who it is. Say it is a spruiker. They will have some very attractive and often unrealistic claims that will lure people in. They're usually very good and very persistent. So you take a chance and you turn up to this session. You'll often find that the sessions are held in rooms where it's very difficult to leave early.
Yes.
And of course, you will have already given your email address.
Or they'll do anything for you not to leave the room.
Yeah.
That's interesting observation. Personally, out of my own pure curiosity, I've been to over 20 free seminars held in Sydney.
What, in the last 2 weeks?
Not in the last 2 weeks. In the last, let's say, couple of years.
Yeah.
I've tried and tested them all, incognito, as just a consumer.
As John Doe.
As John Doe, and not as a professional real estate agent and investor.
Oh, that's good.
A couple of things that I found is the hooks are usually around building your wealth and building it quickly.
Yeah.
So the pitches are usually targeting the get rich quick type approach. And anyone can fall prey for that because it sounds fantastic, right? Invest in property, no money down, or very limited, and replace your personal income within a few years, and basically retire on a rental property.
Yeah, but that's what I say. I help people do.
Yes, legitimately.
Yeah, exactly.
Legitimately.
So how is it different? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's generally the theme. It's around hooking people into building wealth via property very quickly and not slowly.
Yeah.
Which is generally the property investing way that you build your wealth slowly. So signing up and getting hooked into that is very easily to do, to put bums on seats at such events, because everyone's eager to create wealth.
And sometimes you'll see that spruikers will work with accountants or some big mortgage broking houses, because the spruikers will be paying the accountants, financial planners and mortgage brokers a commission.
And of course the property developers. as well, getting commissions on that front, and we've spoken about this on the last topic. So the showmanship is the front, and this is how you can tell, or as a giveaway, the showmanship, the free seminar,
the razzmatazz.
The razzmatazz.
Very
They're all
expensive.
very, very polished.
High pressure.
Very, very polished and high pressure. Seminars is the front for the developers selling their stock, or them selling you the stock.
Well, one thing that I'd probably say, because it is probably hard to distinguish, like before going or attending, but you can also kind of get some ideas from, or extract some information from the session.
Some good strategies.
Yeah, because I guess a lot of times, and one thing that you probably notice is that there's no real talk about risk mitigation, what happens when it doesn't go well, or things like that. There's always a focus on this is what will happen, this is, all the pros versus, no cons, or very, very, very little, because I mean, with anything...
So they only show the upside,
they always show
and
the
there's
upside.
no downside.
No,
and upside is very up.
Yeah, skewed.
Extremely.
So it's always good to kind of balance out. So when you don't hear too much about, okay, well, here's a contingency plan, or here's what you can do, etc., that's probably a red flag. But you can probably learn a couple of, typical strategies, and, highlighting the strategy strengths and things like that, because that's what the purpose would be, to show how, how well it performs, what its strengths are, what you can do with it. So you can kind of, work out, negative gearing, positive gearing, small resi development, subdivision, renovation. There's like a whole bunch of different things that I think you could probably, but just, I don't know, in terms of signing up for something like post the seminar, I guess that's where you have your ears up, and just, have a think about it before committing to buy something.
Yeah, and one of the warnings I would give people, because typically the bad type of seminars are often where it's all new property or off the plan. House and land.
House and land, usually in remote areas, usually in suburbs you've never heard of, and it's usually pitched as, the next great hotspot, wherever it may be around Australia, that you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. That is a red flag, and the way that you can protect yourself against that is any claims that are made. After the seminar, just go and have a look on any of the free platforms, so realestate.com, Domain, one of those, and just put the suburb into the search engines, and you'll either get some good information, good comparable information, or you'll see that buying existing property is sometimes 75%, sometimes even 50% of the actual price that this new stock is being sold at. And what the new sellers will say is, you don't have to pay for maintenance, and you'll get a rental guarantee.
Yes, well that's one of the red flags, the rental guarantee.
That's right, because if it needs a guarantee, you should walk away straight away, because then even the people flogging the property are concerned that you're not going to be able to rent it. Anything that needs that kind of guarantee means that it probably won't rent. And it's really just about people not believing the first thing they're told. Just go and check it. There's lots of information out there, and what I offer people is, if you're presented with something like that, just give us a call at Crave, and we will do, it's just a 5-minute check, and we can point you to the right to independent data, and then the choice is yours. But
what I found as well, Deborah, in my own personal experiences, is that generally if you're going into the rooms for those seminars, they're not going to let you leave without signing up to the next stage of the process, and they're going to take you through a process, and it's their sales pitch, basically. And the sales pitch after the free seminar is to sign up there and then to the consultation. Now, the consultation is the next meeting, one-on-one, where whoever the salesperson is, or the so-called property consultant, then does a personal feasibility on your personal circumstances. As in, yes, as in they're trying to almost pretend that they're some sort of financial advisors, and they're taking you through the numbers to tailorize a package which is an investment package which suits your personal needs. And those consultations can last for hours. I've been personally dragged into one which took 4 hours to get through.
No.
4 hours, because
I wouldn't have anything to get out of that. After about an hour.
Yeah, because they want to wear you down.
Yeah.
They don't want you to leave the room, and they don't want you to go and consult
Or check any information.
and check your information and double check and do your own research or due diligence.
Yeah,
That's how high pressure it is.
Yeah.
They basically want you to sign up to a property there and then and pay your deposit.
Did they
on your credit card?
Because now it's
Did
been
they-
$1,000.
Yeah, did they ever ask
Yeah.
what the longer term objectives, goals, financial goals, all that type of stuff? Did they ever kind of venture down
No,
that
they'll
path,
assume that.
They'll assume, and they take a blanket approach.
Yeah, well, that's
With
what I
it
mean.
that
Because it's very well
really
practiced.
you just
That's what I
want to make money and you want to retire as soon as possible and
Yeah.
replace your income. That's ultimately the dream goal of everyone.
Yeah.
Work less, have a passive income, and really not have to worry about this property because it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah, right, okay. That's interesting. No, the reason why I asked is because I wanted to know if there is, what type of questions, because I was going to say probably looking at, longer term goals usually is left outside the scope. It's like, what are your financial goals, targets, cash flows, things like that. I mean, to make a lot of money makes a lot of sense, but it also makes sense to kind of work out how much you actually do need and how much is more than enough.
Different.
And yeah, exactly. So what is your lifestyle post? Do you want to travel or do you just want to stay at home? Like, how much do you need to live? Like all these types of questions, generally which a financial planner and accountant kind of take into consideration, finance brokers as well. So yeah, I don't know, I was just wondering if that was...
Maybe you should
some...
a couple.
Yeah. So the other thing within that sort of consultation period is that the red flag for me was that they pretty much have everyone on hand to take you through the process, and it's all done in-house.
It's very well practiced, yeah.
That you're using their mortgage broker, using their property consultant, you're using their solicitor for conveyancing, even their own insurance broker, their own property manager. So that's a real warning bell that even though it sounds terrific and it's going to save you a lot of time by having a one-stop shop, it's actually working against your best interests by not getting independent advice.
Yeah, that's right. Even just one person in that advisory council should be independent. But yeah, so that's our view. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go on an excursion. We're going to take Ken
So we're booking into a free property seminar coming soon.
Because we'll expect to see those flourish after we see, because let's face it, Labor's going to get in and they'll have this strategic advantage. But anyway, we're wrapping up.
But just another thing to add, that not all free seminars are a scam or are bad.
Because we run free seminars.
Absolutely, and there's ones that legitimately are doing the right thing and actually educating you. But in saying that, just be mindful of signing up to super expensive, overpriced property education courses that will teach you pretty much nothing in the end. And in the end, you'll just come out of it possibly buying an overpriced property in a remote location you've never heard of that either is going to go down in value or not really met your expectations that they were pitching in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the warning bells that were for me personally.
One thing that people can do is ask their advisors how they're being paid.
Absolutely.
And to actually, that should all be in writing. It's supposed to be
Transparent.
Yeah, that's right.
It has to be transparent. Yeah.
But yeah.
And
so,
and do seek your own independent advice.
even after the fact, even after you've
Yeah.
signed off,
Yeah,
there
definitely.
might be something.
A couple
Can
of
be
items.
done.
Don't feel like you cannot, or
Mm.
you're doing the wrong thing, or you feel bad about seeking independent advice. Doing your own research on these hot spots, because you'll find most of the time it's not what it is. It's
Yeah.
too good to be true.
Well, the data is out of date. But we've now run out of time.
We
so
have. So
would you like to?
yeah, thanks very much for watching Property Mythbusters, and we'd love to hear your feedback. And you can find us on Facebook, on
That's
social media, on Property Mythbusters,
Yep, the Facebook group.
the Facebook group itself, or you can reach out to us personally
On their own social channels.
on their own channels. Yeah, and we've got these videos pre-recorded and or recorded live,
Recorded live, and
we will be on YouTube.
that's right. Yes.
So you'll find us under Property Mythbusters
The
on
YouTube
on
channel.
YouTube. If you want to rewatch these episodes, please subscribe and like us, and we'll continue to deliver some great content for you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya.